It is almost 2024. Boop, 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 boop. Hey guys, my name is Escarla. Welcome back to my channel. Before I get into the video, I wanted to give you guys a huge thank you. We reached 1,000, I think currently I'm at 1,024 subscribers. So thank you guys so much.
Why are you crying?
I think that the algorithm did something to the video. It seems like it spit it out to way more people. And yeah, I'm just feeling really grateful. It was like the best Christmas gift ever. So thank you guys so much. Hello to all of the new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. Very grateful to have you here. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the new year and all of the things to come in this channel. But today, as you can see from the title, this will be my 2024 kind of making goals / life goals, all of the things we want to achieve. I know a lot of people don't set New Year's resolutions, but I definitely love to. I think there's just something about that New Year energy that just really reinvigorates me. It gets me really excited. And I do think that every year kind of plays out in its own theme. So I like to kind of sit with myself and think about what I want to achieve, what kind of intentions I want to set for the year, and yeah, buckle in and let's talk about 2024. So I thought we would break this video up in sections. The first section being all of my kind of general life goals for the year. The second being my kind of general crafting goals for the year. And then the third one being all the things I want to cast on this year. So let's get started. So let's get into my general life goals first. The biggest one being YouTube. Yes, obviously, here we are. My biggest goal is to post on YouTube every week. I was very nervous about how to approach YouTube because I really don't want to be pigeonholed as like a knitting YouTuber. I don't consider this a podcast necessarily or anything like that. I want to be able to post the things that I love and the things that I'm excited about. So a lot of that will typically be knitting or like yarny related, just because that's really where a lot of my interests lie right now, but I don't want that to be the main focus of the channel. So I do want to play around with exploring different topics, maybe different forms of editing, different forms of storytelling, and just seeing kind of where my heart aligns. I definitely am a very intuitive person and a very intuitive artist. I kind of just go with the flow and see what like makes my heart sing. So I do want to do that with this channel. I would like to keep posting every week. Right now I'm posting on Thursdays, but based on what you guys prefer, I may change that down the line. But I definitely want to commit to at least one video a week, and maybe further down in the year I can start posting twice a week. Right now it's a little bit difficult to do that because it takes me quite a while to edit. I would say it takes me probably like around 2 days to edit a video. So that can be difficult to manage with my day job. So right now we're committing to once a week, but maybe we'll do 2 down the line. Along with YouTube, I just want to create a better balance between work and YouTube and life, and make sure that I'm not burning myself out. When I was doing the mystery knit along, that definitely was a little bit intense for me. I had a hard time keeping up with that because I was really pressuring myself to post the video like right the week after and get the shawl done the week after. Those vlog project style videos definitely take a little bit longer because I do have to actually make the thing first and then go through the whole editing process. So I definitely want to time those kind of things out a little bit better. So I would love to figure out a great system that works to keep myself balanced and collected. My second general goal is to make this a low spend year. I have tried to do this in the past. I have succeeded somewhat, but not really. I feel like I'm really good at being consistent for a couple of months, and then I kind of flop when I start seeing like, you know, a bunch of really great yarn going on sale, or like someone's birthday comes up and I go a little bit crazy, or whatever the case may be. I need to commit to spending as little as possible And I am a very operationally minded person, so I do have like this whole spreadsheet that I created for myself that's like set up in categories for spending, and I track like my monthly bills. Once I know like what income is coming in and what kind of bills I have to pay for the month, I'm able to figure out a budget, and I really need to stick to those budgets. I want to make sure that I use the things that I have and upcycle the things that I have as much as possible. So it'll be really fun to get creative and see how I can repurpose the things I already have. I think that's also a really great message to share with the world, because I noticed that not a lot of YouTubers, but there are a fair amount that like are constantly posting like hauls and like what they bought, and there's nothing wrong with that per se, but I'm just not the most like consumerist kind of personality. We all know times are hard and there's a lot going on the planet, so I think the less we consume, the better. So that's definitely one of my biggest goals as well. 2024 will also be quite a, how do I say this? 2024 will definitely be a big year for me. Obviously, I want to commit to doing YouTube the full year and see how it goes from there. But also we are planning on expanding our family, so I know a lot will come with that. So I'm excited to enter that new stage in my life. It's very exciting, but at the same time I'm like hella nervous and a little, I'm not scared per se, but it's just a big life change, right? So that's definitely something that's going to impact my making and impact the way I do things. So getting organized, staying ahead will be very important for me. But also I'm very excited for like all the baby knits and all the like cute stuff I get to make. I will likely go more into this when the time is appropriate, but that is another goal for my life this year. Okay, so let's get into our crafting goals for the year. As I mentioned before, I want to make this a very low spend year, so that's gonna involve a lot of creativity on my part for my making. One of the biggest things that I've been wanting to do for quite a while is to upcycle a lot of my old clothes that I don't wear anymore. There's a lot of clothes that I have and also clothes that Zach has that are just sitting in bags that we've been meaning to donate, but if you don't know, a large percentage of clothes that are donated to places like Goodwill ends up going to landfill anyway. So I would love to get creative and figure out a way to use some of those clothes to make new clothes or to make new things. I think it's important to pay attention to what you consume, but also it's important to pay attention to how you get rid of things. The clothing pile has just been sitting there. There are some things I could sell, but I've just been kind of lazy, like photographing everything and putting it on like a Depop or a Poshmark type of thing is a lot of work. So I've just been kind of lazing around with that part of things, but I would love to get creative, think of some fun projects I can do. Maybe I can make some like yarn out of my old t-shirts, or I can create some like cool patchwork things to wear. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I also really want to work through my stash. I have a lot of yarn that I've gathered throughout the years. I also have a couple of sweater quantities that I purchased last year that are still just kind of sitting there. So I definitely want to make use of those. I do have an exception to that rule, which I will go more into later when I talk about the things I'm casting on. But I definitely have enough yarn to work with. And I also have a lot of fiber that I need to spin. So that is something I really want to focus on this year. I want to get back into spinning and spin as much as I can and turn those things into different items of clothing that I could wear or I could gift. Going along with the fleeces that I have, I really want to get into natural dyeing this year. I got a really great gift from one of my best friends, Nicole, and it's a like natural dyeing kit. I would love to kind of get into that and experiment with my white Corriedale fleece that I have. I want to experiment with dyeing in the wool versus dyeing in the skein, and maybe some different techniques that I can learn along the way to make like speckled yarn or like a gradient yarn. I definitely want to make use of that kit. I also have a lot of onion skins that I've been saving for like the better part of 2 years, almost maybe too many onion skins. And my fridge has a bunch of avocado pits. I have dyed with avocado before, but I could do it again and do it for the channel. So look forward to that as well. And another fun thing I've been really wanting to do is to work on a 2025 calendar. I do like to play around with many different forms of art, and something that I've been really missing is illustration. I used to draw a lot more back in the day, and I really miss it. I've always wanted to design a calendar because I feel like I never find a calendar that works. I feel like I haven't found a calendar that works for my needs. I would love to create something that would work really well for me because I feel like it would then work for a lot of other people as well. What I thought I would do is illustrate a couple of illustrations a month so that by the time it's like late summer or so, I can work on getting those developed in time for the new year and in time for like holiday gift shopping. I have been wanting to make like stationery and things like that. I'm really passionate about cute things, so it would be really fun to design my own stuff and put it out there for you guys to buy as well if you're interested. So perhaps we can get into that. I feel like I am being very like eager, and maybe I am planning for too much to happen in a year, but I feel like it's always better to plan for the most and then just do the things that align with you as you go. But the calendar would be really cool to do. If it doesn't work out for 2025, then we'll push it off or I'll figure something else out. But I think I could make it work. And yeah, I would be so proud to create something like that. So now let's talk about the things I want to cast on. As some of you knitters may know, Pom Pom magazine is releasing their final publication, their last magazine, this January. So that's going to be releasing in a couple of weeks, and the freaking cover page is incredible. I fell in love with it immediately. It is the Fortuna's Wheel Pullover and Trousers by Elspeth Vance, and I like nearly lost my shit when I saw it. I'm obsessed with checkerboards, and the design is a checkerboard design, but it looks like really trippy and kind of like the checkerboards like popping out and pushing in different parts of the garment, and it's just so cool. I just love the trippy nature of the design. It's very much up my alley and very much my style. And when I saw it, I did look up the designer on Instagram, and I'll put it here on the screen, but on her Instagram, she has a couple of variations of the design. There's one that she did with like a color shifting yarn, but it's very subtle, which I love. And her designs in general are really, really cool. I hadn't heard about her before, but I think this pattern's gonna be really popular. I am literally waiting for the magazine to drop so that I could buy the yarn and cast this on. I love that it looks like a melting kind of checkerboard, and I love the ribbing. The contrast kind of piano keys looking ribbing is super cool. So I'm really looking forward to casting this on. I did have a look at the yarn that it's calling for, and it's called Illimani yarn Sabri 2. It's an 85% cotton, 15% alpaca, and it's kind of a chain net construction yarn. And I've never worked with that kind of yarn before. I don't know if I care to work with that kind of yarn. I think a 2 or a 3 ply is fine for me. But I don't know what yarn to substitute it with. I'm trying to go a little bit more budget friendly. I did get some Christmas money that I'm going to put towards this project. And yeah, I want to find a good yarn substitution for this because I don't want to pay like, I don't know what it is. I think it's like $17 a skein or something, and that's kind of expensive if you do the math for like a full set. So yeah, I have to dig deeper and figure out a good substitution yarn. If you guys have any suggestions below, let me know. It's a worsted weight yarn, and again, it's 85% cotton and 15% alpaca. Since it's both the top and the pants, it's gonna take a while to knit that. I feel like it'll take me a couple of months. So I really want that to be like my main knit of the year. But also there's a couple of other things I wanna cast on. The second pattern I wanna make is the Dappled Lace Raglan by James Watts. And we love James Watts here on this channel. I have test knit for him before, and I just think his energy and aura are incredible. He's a very talented person. And I've been wanting to knit this raglan for a few months now. I did buy the yarn for it already. When I went to Maryland Sheep and Wool, I went to the Magpie Fibers shop and picked up this yarn. It is called, it is Kelborn Woolens Camper Yarn in the colorway Orchid Heather. It's this really, really pretty purple color. I don't have anything purple in my wardrobe, at least not that shade of purple. So I'm really looking forward to add that into my wardrobe. It is a 2-ply, super fine yarn. So I think it'll be really nice and airy with all of the lace, but also warm enough to wear in hopefully like the fall time. So that'll probably be more of a summer knit for me, even though it is wool. Since I already have a yarn, that's kind of like a no-brainer project for me to work on. And then the last thing I want to cast on is not a pattern, so it's something that I want to replicate. It is Unif's Rue Dress Vest. And I found this on Pinterest a while back when I was just kind of looking for inspiration. And I think it's super cute. It's a vest, which is basically knit long enough to be a dress. I've never knit a garment from scratch before, like without a pattern. So I am very excited to work on this. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit of a trial and error kind of thing. But the construction seems simple enough for me to replicate. And I think it'll be really fun to modify it to fit kind of my style a little bit more. It has a bit of a patchwork vibe with it using all sorts of different yarns. So I think it'll be a great stash buster, and I can play around with the colors to make it something that I would personally love. I think a mod I would want to do is to make kind of like a waistband in a way. Really just something where I can slip an I-cord through and tie it at the back. I think that would be super cute. And yeah, if that works out, I will definitely work on figuring out how to do a pattern for you guys as well. But we will see. That'll be like a fun little adventure for me to go on. I've never replicated anything before. And there actually are other things I would want to replicate. Like I have this one sweater that I really love in my wardrobe that I bought when I was in high school, and I still have it. But I want to replicate that sweater so that I can make a nicer version of it. So yeah, those are my main goals and all of the things I want to make for 2024. I am sure that I will be adding onto that list as time goes on. I try to keep things as minimal as possible just because I do tend to overwhelm myself with all the things I want to do. Like for example, I've been wanting to work on a painting to put like up here in my office, and I've been meaning to make my bedroom look a little nicer and like try and thrift some fun pieces for the house. So yeah, those are my main 2024 goals. I would love to hear down below what you guys are planning to make this year. What are your goals for the year? What do you want to achieve? If there's anything you want to see from me this year, let me know. I really want to create a community here and kind of bounce ideas off of you, hear what you want to see from the channel. It would be really helpful when it comes to planning out my content. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a marvelous New Year's. I hope all of your dreams come true and that you are able to make this the best year you possibly can. I certainly want to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you again for subscribing. If you haven't already, please consider doing so. Happy making, and I wish you guys all of the best. Peace and love. Bye guys.